I was hoping you
What's
could
up,
tell me
gamers?
some
We're back
more
with more
about this
Starfield.
exchange
Picking up
program.
right where I left off, pretty much. I mean, Rick's down there waiting for me to continue my tour of a new homestead here. But I am taking advantage of the fact that he's put the tour on pause to come back up here. This is where I ran into him in the first place. He just took me down that hallway to begin the tour, but I noticed there was a named NPC here when I first got here,
but fun.
and I'm going to talk to him.
And the money
I'm going to go down the stairs and then talk to the doctor, the other named NPC we ran into. She's in the clinic down there, and then we'll continue the tour and
take a
get a look around this place. But let's talk to Maurice Leon, who again is also, I probably mentioned this in the last video, but his last name is, I believe, a city in France, which seems to be a tradition around
Hello
this place
there.
for the residents.
Are you here to peruse our little museum exhibit?
Ooh, wow, well, look at all this dialogue. You can't just put crappy old junk in a display and call it a museum. Nah, museums aren't really my thing. I didn't actually know this was a museum. Not yet, but I was planning on it. Yes, I was just looking at some of the items in your collection, I guess I'll say.
Wonderful. These are all rare artifacts from before the collapse of Earth. There isn't much of this stuff left outside of private collections, but here we're
Sorry if there was an
happy to
echo there. I
share
just
a
realized
glimpse
my
of them
volume
with
was
the
way up on the
public.
TV.
If you have any questions about the exhibit or New Homestead, I'm happy to answer
So this
as
must
best
be,
as I can.
he must be the museum curator. Yeah, I have lots of questions. What can you tell me about how New Homestead came to
It's
be?
an interesting story. New Homestead began as a scientific research base called the Titan Astrobase, back when space travel was in its infancy. The hope was that humanity would be able to discover simple alien life here given the moon's composition and water supply. When that ultimately failed, it was repurposed as a colony research base where scientists and engineers studied how to build colonies on inhospitable worlds. Then, finally, when gravity drives were commonplace and we started finding Earth-like planets, New Homestead was born as a living history community to preserve that past.
That's cool. I mean, I sort of generally gathered that, but I really like he framed it very nicely, like the whole story about how this place came to be the way it is now. Everyone has such an interesting family names. What's the deal with that? And yeah, so we already know that it's a tradition here to change your last name to be the city that your family, that your ancestors, hailed from on Earth. But maybe I'd love to get his perspective on that tradition.
When our early colonists learned of Earth's demise, they decided to take on the names of their cities of origin as a way to remember their heritage. Now, some may have been lost in translation over the years, and some may have taken it more seriously than others, but the names are mostly accurate. For instance, my family comes from the city of Lyon, in a country that was called France.
Yeah, it's too bad that in this game, like if you have an NPC that's like standing at a display or something, unless you are able to like interact with them from the other side of that display, which the interact range in this game is a bit lower than I'd like it to be. I'd like to be able to like talk to people from further away. Bethesda dev, if you're watching, that'd be a cool quality of life update that I feel like would be, I assume would be just a matter of adjusting a number in a file somewhere. I'd love to be able to talk to NPCs from about 50% further away, because I'm frequently, like, even in shops, I'll like go into a shop and there'll be a NPC merchant behind the counter, and I'll try to talk to them, but I can't. I have to actually walk around to the employee side of the counter in order to buy things from them, and that seems real silly. Like with this NPC, I know there's no way I'd be able to talk to them from the other side of this display, this museum display. So I'm forced to talk to their back, and so they have to like crane their neck to like engage in conversation with me. I'd like to be talking to them face to face. Who are you, and what do you do around here? He's clearly the museum curator, but let's get it from his perspective.
I am Maurice Leon, and I am the community elder.
Oh, he's the community elder.
As the oldest living citizen at
96. Damn, Maurice, you're looking good for
my only
96.
job is to keep Earth history alive. I tell stories to the young people and the visitors from other worlds. Although my memory isn't what it used to be, I try my best to get the stories right.
Well, you are the person I want to talk to. Yeah, could you tell me a story about Earth?
Sure, I'd love to. There was once a war, so big that they say all of the world was involved. This was actually the second time it happened. They fought because a terrible man named Hitler rose to power and slaughtered many innocents. Millions were lost. Even the colony war pales in comparison.
Do you have any more Earth
Why,
stories?
certainly. It's what I do. There was a time when huge monstrosities called dinosaurs ruled over Earth, long before humans existed.
It's funny that
they were
like there's a lot of creatures on these
planets
larger
life
that look
you
like
might
dinosaurs,
see elsewhere
clearly modeled after dinosaurs.
Systems.
So it's funny. He's like they were similar to some of the larger species.
Ended when I can never remember if it was a comet, an asteroid, or a meteor that hit the Earth. Whatever it was, it nearly wiped out most of the life at that time.
Just gonna warn you all, I'm gonna click this dialogue option until he runs out of stories. So you're not interested in hearing like super basic facts about Earth told from the perspective of some old man in the future, then maybe skip ahead a little bit. Have time to tell another story?
Let me think of a good one. A long time ago, thousands of years, humans built a wall so large it spanned the northern length of one of Earth's largest empires, China. They called it the Great Wall of China, and it was meant to keep out invading hordes. If I recall correctly, it didn't always work as well as they had hoped. I'll have to look it up again. Memory's not what it once was.
Oh, well, that ran out quicker than I had hoped. Can you tell me more about the exhibit?
Of course. Certainly. We have several items in our collection that we rotate in and out over time, but they all originate from the same place, Earth. We have everything from toys to antique technology to sports memorabilia. We even used to have an old Earth vehicle, but we had to sell it when we ran out of space for it.
Oh, darn, that would have been the coolest way to look at.
Most of our collection was donated by fellow Earth enthusiasts and historians who felt it belonged close to the homeland here in the Sol system.
Well, that's all his dialogue. I'm really glad I came back to talk to him. He had a lot of cool stuff to say. Now, I do want to like take a look around the whole. Maybe I'll do that right now. Why not? Do these? Oh, they do. Antique instrument of unknown origin, Earth, believed to be of West African origin, possibly a type of ngoni, a harp-like string instrument, traditionally used in ceremonies accompanied with chanting and storytelling. This instrument was generously donated to the new Homestead Museum, but its true origin is unfortunately lost to time.
I don't get it.
I'm sorry, what don't you get?
Earth. Like, what's the big deal? It's just another dead world.
Oh, goddamn.
It's
Why are you even
where
here
we're
on a
all
tour?
from. It was a place of beauty and unimaginable history. I cannot overstate how important it was for all of humanity.
Wouldn't matter if she doesn't get it after his eloquent
I guess so.
explanations.
Maybe I need to look up more about it.
Oh, look, you made a difference, Maurice. Good on you, man. Oh, I guess I can't click all the plaques, which is probably good for my reading voice. Oh, look, it's an old computer. Are those floppy disk drives? Wow. Wow, look at the mouse pad,
I don't
keyboard.
get it.
That's hilarious. A range of antique Earth computers ranging from the late 1980s to the mid-2000s. Computers have existed in some form since Charles Babbage's difference engine in 1822. The years from the mid-20th century into the early 21st century were known for some of the greatest advances in computing technology as computers shrank from gigantic room-sized devices filled with vacuum tubes to small boxes filled with microprocessors like the ones you see here.
I'm sorry, what don't you get?
Earth? Like, what's the big deal? It's just another dead world.
Oh, it's kind of
It's
awkward that
where
they're so
we're
quickly
all
repeating that
from.
same dialogue again.
It was a place
We're just gonna ignore
of
them.
beauty and
Oh, we got a
unimaginable
baseball.
history.
This is the sports memorabilia he was talking
Cannot
about.
overstate how important it
I'm not
was.
sure. They
for all
like
of
they reuse this
humanity.
asset a bunch for these
guess so.
displays, which I don't
Maybe I need
know
to
how
look
I feel
up more
about that.
about
Like,
it.
I've seen that.
Word
It's
of
a
advice,
modern
steer clear of the
digital
docks
display
route.
thingy.
She really seems to have a problem with tourists for
Like,
some reason.
I guess maybe we're supposed to imagine that they're showing us pictures of Earth or speak with Giuliana. What just happened? What just happened?
The people here live a simple life. Try not to complicate it.
Giuliana.
There are
I think
times
Giuliana
when
is the
envy those
medic.
who are able to travel
I fully intend to speak to her. I don't know what I heard to prompt that, which is upsetting. Oh, look, an old Earth duck and piggy bank. Commercial reproductions of Earth fauna. That's one way to put it. Throughout human history, replicas of Earth animals were used in many different ways, from toys and games to more practical uses, such as these items. Piggy bank left. As far back as the 15th century, hollowed-out ceramic statue of an animal known as pig were popularly used to store physical currency. Decoy duck right. Waterfowl, known as ducks, were once hunted near Earth's march. Get tongue-tied here. Were once hunted near Earth's marshes. Earth's marsh. That is really hard to say. Earth's marshes. For sport and food, using ballistic rifles. To facilitate this activity, hunters would often place wooden decoy ducks in the water and use a small woodwind instrument to produce an accompanying call resembling that of a duck in order to lure them in. It doesn't help that my nose is plugged up right now. A hockey stick, right? Ice hockey stick used on Earth in the city of Edmonton, Canada, during a 1988 championship game. I'm not a sports guy, but I assume that that's like a very famous championship game in the world of hockey. Ice hockey is a contact sport played on an ice rink where two teams of 5 players and 2 goaltenders, called goalies, compete to deposit a rubberized puck in the other team's goal. The players traverse the rink on specialized shoes mounted on thin metal blades called ice skates and manipulate the puck with specialized curved sticks, such as the one displayed here. What do we got here? A scroll holder. These are actual assets you can find in the game. A compass. I'm not sure about this one. That looks like it might be a chisel. And a vase. Miscellaneous earth knickknacks. Yeah, that's essentially what we got going here. Unknown decorative liquor bottle brought from Earth to New Homestead during its original mission. Electronic pipes used to inhale various illegal substances during early New Hampstead colonial times. Oh, I guess they're like vapes. Equinoctial dial brought to New Homestead by one of the original settlers as a family heirloom, original construction in 1800. Scroll case of unknown date and origin, believed to have once been a sacred relic. This old scroll case likely predates any other synthetic item in the museum. The scroll itself has been lost to time.
Adrian, what can I do for you today, young lady?
I was just
It's so cold here.
If someone maybe...
Hey, you don't have to be nervous about asking me if I've got any freebies. I know you don't have a lot of money. You know I'll always take care of you. I bought something off a tourist real cheap. I think you're gonna like it. I'll drop by with it later, after I clean it up.
Wow. Thank you, Jay. I don't know what to say.
Don't worry about it. You just keep on being you.
Sorry, I heard like an interesting conversation happening here. I wanted to come in and catch it.
You off-worlders have it made.
Adrian Brasilia
Hey, got any fancy trinkets you want to offload?
and Jay Montreal.
It's one thing to learn about early colony life. It's another to experience it.
And some random tourists. So this is the gift shop, obviously. I'm sure that conversation plays on the loop, so if I hear it again, I'll try to run in there and get the first end of it. It sounds like she was shyly asking for a freebie. I guess he seems to sell Earth memorabilia, so I assume that she wants some sort of Earth trinket. She's maybe a big fan of Earth stuff, but doesn't have a good money for purchasing her own. So I assume these are just literally Earth
I'm learning
rocks. I mean,
so much here.
these are
Everyone
assets
should
used
visit
as
at least
Orvanes
once in
this.
their life.
Yeah, facts. Okay. Natural space debris like asteroids and meteoroids routinely and was this written weird or am I crazy? I'm gonna try reading this again from the top. Natural space debris like asteroids and meteoroids routinely enters planetary or moon atmospheres to impact. Yeah, there's something wrong about the grammar here. I think enters should just be enter, right? Asteroids and meteoroids routinely enter planetary or moon atmospheres to impact the surface below. When a meteor survives its journey through the atmosphere and makes impact, the result is a meteorite, such as the one seen in these display cases. Displayed to the left, polished and rounded piece of the Gibeon meteorite, which impacted Earth 600 million years ago. Displayed ahead from left to right, carbonaceous chondrite meteorite, which impacted Titan 250 million years ago. Piece of the Dronio meteorite, which is believed to have impacted Earth more than 1,200 years ago. I only see the two. This looks like just a model of Earth's moon, Luna, as they call it in this world.
It's been a while since I last visited. Nice to see this place still has the same charm.
Oh! It's a snow globe. It's a NASA snow globe. What? This is some old NASA merch, which is awesome. Let's read about this. NASA, one of several Earth-based space agencies, was instrumental in humankind's earliest journeys into space. Indeed, it was due to the efforts of NASA that New Homestead exists. In 2107, NASA sent an unmanned probe to Titan, which paved the way for the development of the Titan Astrobase, completed in 2130. By 2185, the Titan Astrobase project was transitioned into the colony of New Homestead. From left to right, we have a NASA prototype rocket, NASA-branded mug, Vostok 1 USSR space program, Space Shuttle Discovery, Apollo 11 collectible snow globes. Items on loan from NASA. So NASA still exists in this world. If these museum items are on loan from them. So this is awkward, but just like I need to know if it's possible to like break this glass and steal that snow globe. I don't think I'm gonna do
so
that,
cold
even if it
here.
is possible.
I guess I should have
But
expected that.
if at some point in the future I want to like be a completionist and gather all the snow globes in the game, like this, I want to know if this one's possible right now. So we're gonna pop a quick save, and then we're gonna do some reckless shit. All right, so I can't break through the case. I can't open it, as far as I can tell, and no one seems to care that I'm firing a gun in here. But I'm gonna load my save real quick because it doesn't take too long to load something, and we'll get right back to the tour. I had to know. It looks like that's not meant to be obtainable. Maybe I can buy a NASA snow globe in the gift shop, which I haven't reached yet. So we'll see about that when we get over there. Oh, are these the other meteorites that I think maybe I'm gonna get like a description here of 2 different meteors, and like this plaque is meant to be over there, and that plaque's meant to be over here. Let's see if I'm right about that. Natural space debris like asteroids and meteoroids routinely enter planetary or moon atmospheres to impact the surface below. When oh no, it does say 3. Unaltered piece of the Gibeon meteorite, which impacted Earth 600 million years ago. Fluorescent meteorite, which impacted Titan 20 million years ago. Slab of the Naton meteorite, which is believed to have impacted Earth around 800 years ago. So I think this is the correct one for this display, and the one for that display is perhaps lost and not. What the hell? The effect on this glass is a little weird. So this is the Brown Horse Tavern I was told I should check out. We're gonna save that for later.
This colony's a lot smaller than I thought it would be.
It's a little weird
that
people
people come here to see what early colony life was like.
To me, it's just
This
how we
is
live.
like
Just how we
me
live.
exiting the museum area, so we'll come back to that. We'll check out the tavern later.
It's been a while
I do
since
want to
I
go
last
in this
visited.
gift shop just because
Nice to see this
I
place
caught
still
that
has the
like
same
piece of
charm.
conversation already.
That's a nice
I'm
outfit. you
curious if
got.
I can buy a snow
I
globe
could
here.
probably offer you a good price for it. Well, hello there, and welcome to my little shop. Are you
Hi
visiting
Jay,
New
nice to
Homestead
see
for
you.
the
You
first
seem like a
time?
nice guy. I heard that conversation before. Yes, it's my first time here. Maybe sometimes I party a little too hard and wind up in strange places. Yes, this is my
nice.
first time.
You know, it's always such a pleasure to meet people from other worlds. Or just space. I don't judge. I'm Jay. I'm happy to help you find what you're looking to buy or take a look at whatever you want to sell. Trades of all kinds are welcome here. Or
I
if
get
you have
that
any
you're, like,
questions
the
for me
general
about the
store, but you
shop,
have, like,
merchandise,
memorabilia,
or
'cause
even
I'd
just New
love-
Homestead in general, I'm happy to help you.
Cool. You sound like a great guy. I have a lot of things. Do you sell any
We
souvenirs or
used
anything
to,
like
but
that?
not anymore. Believe it or not,
Dang it.
the New Homestead Tourism Board decided a while back to do away with souvenirs. We don't really have the resources or facilities to make them here ourselves, and it was decided that anything less than that would seem exploitive of our people and inauthentic. Only
That's
thing we
fair. I
have
guess
are
that's
these
fair.
souvenir slates about the history of New Homestead.
Oh yeah, I'll take that.
Tell you what, I've got an extra one here that another guest left behind a while back. You can have it.
Oh, thank you. That's so cool. New Homestead Live History. I'll definitely check that out in a minute. What do you think of all the tourists who come to visit New
I
Homestead?
love them. Most of us in New Homestead appreciate what tourism does for our economic livelihood, so we go out of our way to make guests feel welcome.
That's good.
Some are indifferent about it, while a few others, I won't name names, are downright resentful of all the tourists and would prefer to be left alone. But that being said, I believe our generally friendly demeanor is a large part of what drives people to keep coming back.
Yeah, this is another example of we've talked to a lot of people who We've talked to some people who don't like the tourists, but he sort of, said it best that the majority of people that live here are, welcoming of the tourists because of what they bring. It's that way in society a lot, where majority of people want things one way, but then there's always going to be people who don't want things to be that way and push back against that. But you mentioned something about trading. What sort of things are you looking for?
Glad you asked. I'm looking for all sorts of things. Anything, really. Clothing, weapons, jewelry, even stuff they consider junk. You name it. We don't get a lot of off-world stuff, so I offer to buy things from travelers. Anything they're willing to part with. Between you and me, people around here talk a lot about tradition and whatnot, but even they get curious about what other worlds have to offer.
I'd like to look at what you're selling.
Sure thing. I'm also interested in buying if you have anything for sale.
Yeah, you mentioned that like about 100 times. Jigger. Oh. I think I already have a plushie Star Pal. He really is just selling junk. What do you have for aid, though? I'll take these emergency kits off your hands. Oh, 3 med packs. That's a huge find. Guess I'll grab problem pack too. Nice. All right.
Take care.
Okay.
We take vandalism seriously here. You don't mess with history.
I know I said I was going to save this for later, but I'm just going to take a quick look and see how
Off-worlders always
expensive this
ask
is
how
gonna
I
be.
can live here. I wonder how they can live
Citizen.
anywhere.
If you need medical attention, see Dr.
Citizen.
Lakota. But a word of
citizen,
warning,
citizen.
she really doesn't care for tourists.
Hi there. Always nice seeing a new
Oh, Dr. Lakota doesn't care for tourists.
Did you see those wind turbines out there? Wow.
You get used to the methane processing smell after a while.
What is this? Should I be concerned about this? Look at this. I'm not hallucinating this, right? There's like a weird growth coming out of the power box here. Oh, goodness. Oh, that's a cool physics effect. I didn't know that would happen. Hope she doesn't come back here to investigate what the gunplay is. I'm really interested in this. Was that thing born out of that? Is that like a heat leech nest? Oh. It like exploded with juices when I shot it. Can't seem to laser it off. Alright, I'm not going to waste any more time on that thing, but like, weird, right?
Why
Let's
not
talk
order
to the
some
barkeep.
food and make yourself comfortable?
Anja, Seattle.
Welcome. I'm Anya.
Oh,
Is this your
that's
first time
creepy.
with us at the Brown Horse Tavern?
That's my bad for talking to her from behind.
The tourists
I'm not
hated
sure.
that.
I'm a regular. I can't believe you don't recognize
Joyce
me.
says she's on it.
I've seen it. I've
Something
just
about
never
the
ordered it. No, yeah, I've never been
Well,
here before.
thank you for joining us. You're in for a real treat.
Sure, she'll handle it.
We've got an assortment of food and drinks, some of which follow homemade recipes that have been passed down over hundreds of years.
I'm really curious.
So,
to
what
see
can I
her
do for
menu.
you?
The like window thing is. I don't think they got it quite right with the graphics in this game, because you can see like it weirdly fading in and out when there's movement on the other side of it. Saw that same thing from the other side. Like, it looks like it could be a really cool, like, design for the windows here, but like it's failing. Like, I saw the Chunks restaurant out there. Does it hurt your business?
Oh, hardly. The
Oh,
locals
that's so
pretty
creepy.
much
I'm
stay
so
away
sorry I
from
talked to you
Chunks,
from
so
behind.
whenever they don't feel like cooking themselves and want a fresh meal, they come to me.
Yeah, makes
Only
sense.
the tourists eat that junk. But don't
Yeah,
tell that to my
fair.
husband.
That's what he said too, honestly.
He manages the Chunks. I love him, but he's
Oh,
a bit
really?
of a
I met
fanatic
your
about it.
husband. He is such a nice guy.
So then I
Good on you guys. You
that
guys
we
basically have a
churn our
monopoly
own
on the
butter.
eateries here.
He
So
completely-
what is
You
this
mean
place?
the Brown Horse?
Oh my
Well,
God.
it's only the longest continuous running restaurant since humans started settling outside of Earth.
Wow,
There's
that
a
is
lot
quite
of
a
history
distinction,
within these
actually.
walls. And some damn fine food and drink, if I say so myself. This place has been in my family for generations.
That's
My
really cool. If you weren't creepily talking to me over your shoulder like that.
great-grandmother opened it when the first colony started on Titan. Back then,
Wow.
it was a simple mess hall that she chose
Simple
to put a
mess hall.
little extra love
Wow.
and flavor into. And now, it's the pride of New Homestead.
Yeah, the tour guide already told me this was a must-see.
brownouts last
Let me
Like
show
your
you what we
menu,
have.
please. Let's check it out. I mean, some of this stuff obviously is just normal. A patty melt. Pierogies. Ta Amaya Pita? I'm probably mispronouncing that, sorry. Oh, she doesn't have any, like, I was hoping for some. Well, whatever. Kodos Crater. Isn't the Red Mile in a crater on Kodos? Am I remembering that correctly? Well, anyway.
Oh, I'm just glad the auxiliary.
Hope you'll be back
power
sometime.
picked up. Remember that time?
Yeah, sorry again for making you crane your neck like that. Ooh, what's this? Love you, Anja?
Oh, the tourists hated that.
Hi, Anja. I found this slate. One of the customers left it behind. Tried contacting them, but they never came back for it. Anyway, I know they don't like us using newer tech like this here, but I figure I already catch enough flack for working at Chunks that I don't care. I just wanted to leave this for you to tell you that I love you, baby. You're my everything. Aww, he's so sweet.
Something about the
Leaving his wife a little love note.
Joyce is great at what she does. I'm sure she'll
I
handle it.
stand
It's
that
one
couple
thing to learn about early colony
very much.
life.
I hope they have
It's
all the
another
success
to
in the world.
experience it.
Hey, everyone here is just a citizen, right? I can't believe I have to go to scan mode to see
It's a
that.
little weird that people come here to see what early colony life was like. To me, it's
All right,
just how
so I think we're finished with the museum entirely now. So we're gonna pop back down. Oh, I did see that. I did see that. Okay. So then he led me down here where the hyperactive kid that's had too much caffeine is. Let's see if we can get him to say the line again, because that cracked me up the other day.
Always so cold here.
Oh, that's not the line. That's boring. But okay. So we have a lounge in here. I did peek in here. It's just, you know, a lounge. It does say take. Guess I'll take it. I don't think I've seen pool balls yet. Right, there he is waiting patiently to continue the tour. Let's poke our head in here. I feel like this is probably someone's domicile, so I shouldn't. Like, here's some cheap living in storage container, like converted shipping containers.
I could really go for some of Anya's cooking over the Brown Horse.
Yeah, this is interesting, seeing, you know, they really live, you know, probably like people on this planet have always lived, with a, you know, space being an economy. They would set up these sort of mixed living
Some
areas.
say New Homestead is a backwoods world. Maybe it is, but that doesn't really bother me.
So Adrian Brasilia here is the lady I saw. She had a conversation with the gift shop owner upstairs. Seems she's found her way back down here. I'm very curious to hear her story. I didn't quite catch the whole exchange. It seemed like she was looking for a freebie, but now that I know he doesn't sell souvenirs, she was maybe looking for like
all these tourists are able to come
some
and
food
go
or
as
something.
they
Maybe she's on
please.
hard times.
I wish I had that kind of money.
Yeah, let's talk to her and see if we can learn more about her. Adrian Brasilia.
Oh, you don't really want to talk to me. I'm just a nobody from the crates.
Oh,
Besides,
the crates are what they call the slums.
I'm not really good
of
at
New
talking to
Homestead.
tourists about New Homestead. If you're really interested in our history, talk to Maurice. He's a lot better at that than I am.
I did. He was a great conversationalist, but I'm not sure I'm equipped to deal with whatever you got going on. Maybe I'll go find Maurice then instead. Please don't say that. I'm sure you're not a nobody.
I feel like it sometimes. I don't have many friends, and I'm struggling to stay in my undergrad program. It feels like I'm never going to get out of here and make a name for myself. Anyway, if we're going to talk, maybe we should talk about something else.
I'm getting named NPC that you can recruit to be on your crew vibes from this one. How do you feel about your home being a tourist destination?
It's not as bad as you'd think. I like talking to off-worlders, especially people my age. It gives me ideas for what I want to do when I'm done with school.
Oh, cool.
Because, honestly, I'm not sure I want to stay here.
Yeah.
It'll always be my home, but as soon as I can afford to, I'd love to explore my options.
What do you do here in New Homestead?
Well, I'm trying to finish up my undergrad schooling, actually. I want to be a physicist like my grandmother. Then, who knows what. But I also do some odd jobs here or there for money. Sometimes I help Jay out at his shop, and he gives me stuff in return. Sometimes I help Anya clean up at the Brown Horse when she's short-staffed. That sort of thing.
You mentioned something about the crates. What's that?
The crates are what we call the living quarters for the poor people. Like me.
Yeah, I got it.
They're made from old shipping containers. We have to make do with the space we have here. They're comfortable enough, I guess. And no one on Titan is well off to begin with. But you can tell that people look down on us. Especially some of the tourists.
Well, I would never, Adrian. I hope I'm pronouncing your first name correctly. So you're having trouble with your studies?
Okay, well, no. Not the studies specifically. Like, I get good grades when I'm able to apply myself. But I'm poor. I just don't have the kind of money to be a full-time student and support myself. Even living in the cheap-ass crates. I keep having to take odd jobs just to put food on my plate. And when I do, my grades suffer. I just feel like I'll be stuck in a rut forever.
Yeah, it's a common problem for poor people. Why is it always 20,000 credits? Can't we like chill with that? Like I get like 2,000 credits when I complete a dangerous like life and death mission. And then like whenever I run into someone who's like struggling, the game's like, oh, why don't you give them 20,000 credit? Like, what? The second time this has happened to me. I'm, of course, going to do it, but Jesus. That's too bad. Maybe you'll be able to afford it all someday. You can be successful without finishing school. You just need to get out of New Homestead. Consider this a scholarship.
What? Really? I don't know what to say. This is beyond kind of you. I mean, I don't even know you, but wow. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oof, I feel the pain in my wallet right now. Goodbye, named NPC I'll probably never see again, that I just gave a small fortune to.
Thanks for stopping by to talk.
Yeah, I bet you're very thankful I stopped by to talk. You have a good one there.
Yeah, I don't mind the tourists. They help the local economy.
Good. Glad you feel that way. Right.
Do you have a spaceship? I want to get a spaceship when I'm older. They're so cool.
What can I do for you?
Dr. Juliana Lakota. So she's both the person I got an objective to go speak to. Ooh. Not a crime for me to hack into that. I think I will. And she is also someone I would just want to talk to in general.
Medical assistant?
She's someone who doesn't like the tourists, which is interesting. Don't mind me just hacking your computer real quick. No big deal. Nothing to see here. Oh God, we're gonna violate HIPAA here. Well, I mean, I guess it's not. We're not violating HIPAA. Should have kept this PPI secure. Upcoming appointments. Michaela Paris. Patient complains of itching sensation inside left ear canal. Natasha Moscow. Yearly gynecological exam. Barnabas Lima. Oh yeah, I should be watching these names. Paris, Moscow, Lima. Knee sprain checkup. I mean, it's fun going through these medical files just to see the names. Ankara. Gasper, quote, unquote, aches all over, but especially lower back in the morning. Probably just poor bed support. Yeah, facts. Nonthabury, I'm not sure if that's one I recognize. Chorea. Possible arthritis. And walk-in hours after 2 p.m. Walk-in hours until end of day. Patient notes. Emily Liskin. I'm not sure I've heard of Liskin as the city either. Patient suffered a fall while out touring the icy crags south of New Homestead. Patient was airlifted here with injuries to both legs, fractured 2 metatarsals on left foot, treated and set the wounds, prescribed extra strength painkillers, and called it a day. I wonder if that's worth investigating the quote-unquote icy crags south of New Homestead. Thomason I don't recognize either, but I guess these are mostly tourists that she's describing here. Miss Thomason came in complaining of acute frostbite. Turns out she was just very cold. Prescribed hot cocoa and told her to stay outside if she can't tell the difference between being cold and actual frostbite. That's some bedside manner there. Marco went. Marco thought it would be a good idea to sneak into the methane plant by himself instead of sticking to the tour. Almost asphyxiated on methane and had to be given oxygen. He'll live. Terry Glasgow, that's a city. Terry is a local, right? That tracks with the name. One of my regulars. Normally Terry is a bit of a hypochondriac, but this was just a regular yearly physical. No abnormalities. Blood work looks mostly good. LDL cholesterol is a little high. That's like me. Needs to cut down on fatty foods and exercise more. Yeah, doc. And Piera, not going to even try. Treated secondary burns from leaning on a steam pipe mid-brachium. Claimed she was just trying to get warm. Wanted a lesson. Instructed her to apply antibacterial, anti-inflammatory balm 3 times a day and keep the burn wrapped. Glad you were unconcerned with me rifling through your computer like that. Patient's clothes? Oh, it does say steel. I'm sorry, gang. I want this bad. We're all Gucci. No security cards running in. Okay. In that case, let's save, and I want to talk to you.
If you take one of those stupid tours, make sure to follow the rules. They're for your own safety and my sanity.
Is it difficult being a doctor in such an old-fashioned community?
Even though we don't have shiny new medical facilities, I imagine it's easier than wherever you're from. We have fewer people here, and we're very responsible when it comes to our personal health and welfare. So there's not much I can't handle.
Yeah.
For anything
like
else, we can get
tourists on
access
the
to
other
off-world
hand.
specialists. Contrary to popular belief, we're not primitive.
I never meant to imply anything like that. Are there any dangerous hazards to worry about on Titan?
It's a harsh world, but as long as you're inside or wear a suit when going out, you'll be fine here. There's no breathable air on the surface, and you'll quickly freeze to death outside without protective gear, but otherwise the hazards are minimal. New Homestead was an early colony research base and has stood the test of time. It's safe, and it's proof that people can live pretty much anywhere.
Yeah,
Don't worry so much.
Cool. All right, I'll try not to worry so much. I could use some medical supplies. Is probably true. Let's see if
I'm sure
she has
I've got
anything for
something to
sale.
help you feel better.
Buy these 3 emergency kits from you. These 3 med packs. Ugh, I'm feeling that 20K I just lost. Look at my poor credits. Back under 400. Alright. You really seem like you don't like the tourists.
They make a mockery of New Homestead culture. And on top of it, they're reckless. It's like I said before, I feel like I'm treating them more often than our own people.
I can understand why that would frustrate you. It must keep you busy, but what's so bad about that? No. Sounds frustrating. I wish there was something I could do.
Maybe there is. I have an idea that may be best suited for someone relatively unknown instead of myself. I've got a mountain of work and a reputation to maintain. So I bought a realistic monster costume. The plan was to wear it, scare tourists away, and start a rumor about terrible creatures living on Titan. I figure that once word gets around, tourism will take enough of a dive to give me some relief.
So you want someone to dress up as a monster and scare tourists away. I mean, I feel like tourism has been good for New Homestead. Like, most people really appreciate it. But then here's my dilemma. The player's dilemma. I feel like my character, Earstoppa here in the game, Space Cowboy, would not agree to do this because everyone I've talked to around here, like, obviously there's some dissenters, but for the most part, people think the tourism has done good things, brings in money, you know, brings in a good flow of people and items and merch and stuff. Generally good for the people here. But there's obviously some detractors like this doctor. I think I would, like, let's see. Sounds ridiculous. Do you really think it'll work? Tempting, but no, I can't see myself doing that. Good luck. I think that's what my character would say. Now that just sounds fun. I don't care if it works. I'll do it anyway. I'm tempted to do it though because I don't know what this costume is, but I want it. I want the scary costume. The player me wants the scary costume. Character me thinks this is a bad idea.
Maybe, I'm not sure. I know it sounds crazy.
but I don't have any other ideas.
Player
The
me also
tourism
thinks
board
this is
flat out won't help
potentially
me,
hilarious.
and I don't have money in the budget to hire additional help. And you know these tourists will believe anything they see and hear. I think it's worth a shot. Worst case scenario, I'm back to square one.
Now that just sounds fun. I don't care if it works. I'll
That's
do
the
it
spirit.
anyway.
To be honest, I'm not sure it'll work either, but I feel like there's no harm in trying.
I just
Here's the
want
costume.
to get my hands on this
I think
costume.
this will work best on the surface, so just find
Yeah,
a
here's
group
the costume.
and run
She's
up
just
to
giving
them,
it to me.
acting like a convincing alien monster. With any luck, they'll run screaming and book the next
That's on
flight
the
out of here.
surface. You want me to wear this outside? Monster costume added. Alright, seeing that pop up just reminded me. Tourists go home, wear the monster. Okay. I'm gonna put that on hold because we're still in the middle of a tour with Bill, which I want to finish up first. But that did remind me that I got the God, I hope it's still under new items. Monster cut. Oh my god. Bro. Look at this thing. I don't know if I'm going to do that quest for her, but holy crap am I glad I said yes. Just to get my hands on this. If this is under apparel instead of under spacesuit, I'm going to wear this 100% of the time everywhere I go. But this is what it reminded me of. The New Homestead Live History, which I got from the gift shop owner for free, actually. I need to stop calling it a gift shop. The general store guy. Excuse me. Alright, wow, this is kind of lengthy. That's not too bad. Let's see here. So, come for the historical ambience, stay for the experience. I wish this was voice so I could just play it. Just taking a second to blow my nose so I can maybe read this more effectively. Sol, the cradle of humanity. Sol, the sun. It's hard to imagine a time when all of humanity lived under one singular sun. But until the mid-22nd century and the invention of the gravity drive, that's all we had. Humans have existed for nearly 200,000 years, and all of them came from a planet called Earth, the third planet in the Sol system. Without Earth, you wouldn't be here. Titan Astrobase. The people of Earth first sent an unmanned craft to Saturn's moon, Titan, in 2107. The Titan Astrobase was completed in 2130 to search for life beyond Earth. Though fruitless, it laid the groundwork for what would eventually become humanity's greatest endeavor, settling the universe. Scientists and engineers used Titan to perfect planetary colony building. It's interesting that, in-world, they didn't successfully find microbial life here on Titan, but, after the development of this game, there was a probe that was sent past Titan, I believe. I think I'm thinking of the right moon. And they found some significant evidence that there is in fact a life below the icy surface of Titan in the subsurface oceans. Which is so exciting. Obviously it's not intelligent life. It's going to be, probably just microbes and plankton-sized life. But it's really, life without a terrestrial origin is really interesting, and it would support the idea that the universe is probably full of life. Which is cool. I'm into that sort of stuff. I think that's all really really neat. I would love to see in my lifetime a serious mission to Titan, to look for life. At what as apparently happened in universe. I would have liked for them to have found some sort of microbial life in universe, but it is what it is. A new home and old history. New Homestead was officially established in 2185 as a living memorial to humanity's ingenuity and perseverance. Citizens of the settled systems, say that 3 times fast, were invited to visit and learn about our important history. This fascinating approach to education allowed visitors to see how the early colonists lived and worked. Sights to behold. See the majestic icy peaks of New Homestead's frozen land formations as frosty winds blow through the thick clouds overhead. Witness the powerhouse of the UC's most valued methane processing plants. Then warm up with a hot meal at humanity's longest running dining establishment after Earth, the Brown Horse Tavern. Fun. Bro. Please be under apparel. Please be apparel. Damn, it's not apparel. Look at this patient's clothes. That was fun. Totally worth stealing. Could pretend I'm a medic. Oh, that's really fancy looking. So it's a spacesuit? Yeah. Okay. Fair enough, I guess. Look at this. I need to take a minute, like, between videos at some point to go through all my armor and weapons and stuff and maybe change some things up, because this is clearly like a straight upgrade to what I'm currently wearing, and I should really consider it. Yeah, okay. I'll let you know how it goes, Doc. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that yet. I might do it and then like load my save so that it doesn't actually get done, just to see what it's like. Cause I'm curious. I'm sure it's a very funny quest to do. Bill, I'm ready.
Have any questions so far?
But my papa says just a bunch of junk food for tourists.
How many
I'm
people
not
live
sure
here?
the exact count, but New Homestead is a fairly small colony. What you see is what you get for the most part, except for some other people who live in the private lower levels. Some, particularly security, and yours truly, even commute from other worlds.
I can't even imagine a society where people would commute to work rather from other planets. Like, that's crazy to me. Especially like considering the only other place I can think of here is Caledonia. Like, are they commuting to Titan from Mars on a daily to like go to work? That's nuts. And then the way he's like, I've heard about the people who live on the lower levels before that are like, those are closed to tourists. But I just thought that was like the game's cop out. Like, yeah, there are like, there's more residential stuff that you can't see, you know, to make this place seem more realistic. Like, there are more people and more places to work down below, but you just, those are cut off to tourists. So you're not going to see that bit. Like, to give this place more of a feel of, you know, being a bigger place than the like few places that they let the player go. But what he just said makes me think there's some sort of something interesting going on below.
I'm not sure the exact
I'm gonna play it again.
count, What you see is what you get for the most part, except for some other
Except
people
for
who
some
live in
other
the
people who
private
live in the
lower
private
levels.
lower levels.
Some, particularly security, and yours truly, even commute from other worlds.
I don't know, so just something about private lower levels makes me want more than ever to find a way down there. Can you tell me more about how people lived here? That's not what this says. What are you doing? Can you tell me more about how people lived before this was all built?
The original Titan Astrobase had more habitation pods on the surface connected to some of the old structures you may have seen in the back. As the colony grew, the base was expanded underground, and those hab units were recycled into materials used down here.
The overflow area looks cramped. What's up with that?
Sadly, it's difficult to get additional construction done inside these underground caverns. So for now, additional populations are housed in these stacks of old shipping crates. As you might expect, this is where some of the less wealthy can afford to live. It's not glamorous, but they are functional and cozy.
Oh, so I can still tell him that I want to look around more. But yeah, I think I'm ready for whatever's
We'll
next.
be taking the residential elevator to the farms area on the surface level. This way, please. Let's leave these good people alone for now and go check out the farms. Follow me up the elevator.
Yeah, sure, man.
Off-worlders always ask how I can live here. I wonder how they can live anywhere else.
Those folks in Sidonia may be closer to Earth, but we do a better job preserving its traditions.
Lots of history here, if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, so this is for some people that can afford a little bit more nicer place than the shipping crates. They have these quote-unquote suites. Yeah, there's only 2 of them here, which is interesting. This one, like, maybe a lot of people cramped into a small area here, so maybe it's not as luxurious. Who knows? Yep, let's go ahead and follow Bill. He's probably like, where the hell is that tourist? Sorry, Bill. Oh yeah, I did see an elevator directly into this
They help the
place.
local economy.
New Homestead's farms are the beating heart of the colony. Without them, the original outpost would have shriveled and died. These
heard about
pods
lots
are
of other
sealed
planets
and
out there.
climate controlled.
Some of them
Perfect
sound
environment
pretty
for growing the
scary, though.
hydroponic vegetation needed for survival in the early days of the colony.
Alright, cool. So now he gives me a chance to look around. But I'm not going to. I've already looked around here. I've spoken to Mora. Actually,
Thanks again for taking the time to answer questions for me. I learned a lot from you.
right. I spoke to Sylvie, who's a peach, and also her father is somewhere around here. The Munichs. I kept meaning to come back and check their last name. That's funny. Munich, Germany. All right, Bill.
Any questions about the farms?
Sure, yeah. How's this different than anywhere else in the galaxy? That's a really weird question. What do they grow here, I feel, is a more respectful
These days,
question.
it's a mix of what you find elsewhere in the galaxy, but in the olden days, it was all brought over from Earth. It was a lot of hardy root
Makes
vegetables like potatoes, carrots, beets, and such, supplemented with corn, peas, green beans, soy, etc., which didn't always grow as well.
Are the farms still
Oh,
operational?
they are indeed. Colonists still cultivate plant-based food for their own consumption here in New Homestead. It's less vital to their survival these days, as they also import supplemental food from other colonies, including meats, dairy, and synthetics. However, most citizens here take pride in a new homestead-grown, sustainable diet.
She makes a good point, dear.
I'm ready to move on.
Onward it is! We'll be stopping by the Brown Horse Tavern later in the tour, which uses many of these locally sourced ingredients in their cooking. But for now,
that's cool.
it's just a
sort of
short
gathered
way
that.
to our next stop. Follow me!
Yeah, lead the way, Bill. Lead the
Old
way.
biolabs are just on the other side of this building, believe it or not. We'll step on through the hallway there. They're not in use anymore, but the colony has faithfully recreated them as a historical exhibit, true to the original purpose of the Titan Astrobase. Sadly,
I'm excited
they're
about this. I
undergoing
couldn't
some
get through here
light
on my own.
renovation. Otherwise, there'd be interactive activities for kids to learn about how they used to search for microbial life here.
Yeah, this door was sealed to me and I
Off-worlders
couldn't get
always
through it,
ask how
so
I
this
can
is
live
me
here.
actually getting
I wonder how they
into
can
an area of
live
the
anywhere
space I
else.
wouldn't have been able to without the tour. Or not. Bill, I want to go through this door, Bill. We're going through this door, right?
Pardon the dust, but I can still answer some questions about the old Titan Astrobase biolabs.
These aren't biolabs, man. I mean, I know the answer to this already, but let's ask it. You keep mentioning the Titan Astrobase. What's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot to mention that. That's what this place was originally called. When NASA divested its interest in the Astrobase and turned it over to the people back in 2185, they renamed it New Homestead and established it as a historical site.
What kind of life did they find
Funny
here?
you should ask.
Nothing, he's going to say.
Sadly, none. See, NASA funded the Titan Astrobase project because conditions seemed ripe for primordial life to form in Titan's methane pools. They tested many different sites, performed deep core ice drilling, and more, yet nothing turned up.
So that was it? What they used these labs for after no life was
Well,
found?
NASA defunded the xenobiology program in 2132, but a scientist by the name of Catherine Neely proposed research into advanced colony building on inhospitable worlds. So, by 2135, work began on what would ultimately set us all up to create habitats anywhere humans dared to explore. These very labs housed the computer systems used in that research. That and general storage for the colony. Lots of storage.
I'm going to
Sure
take a
thing.
closer look.
Keep in mind the Biolabs exhibit is closed for visitors, but I'll be waiting if you need a minute anyway.
Feel free to look around, but don't touch.
Dang it. He's like, oh, it's closed for visitors. I thought for sure it sounded like he was taking me through this door. And I want to go through this door. But he's not going to take me through this door, so
Don't
that's
stay
really
outside.
Pardon the
disappointing.
dust, but I can
freeze
still.
solid without the proper protection.
You
It's
got
okay,
it.
we can
On
keep
to our
moving.
next stop.
You very
Next,
much
we'll be
disappointed
heading
me, bro.
outside, so make sure to check those seals on your suit because it's a bit chilly out there.
We used
We're
to get
going
more
out into
tourists
the
than we do these
frozen
days.
wastes of Titan to see what powers this planet. Watch your step outside, by the way. The ice can be slippery if you're not careful. The goal is to keep people out of Dr. Lakota's infirmary.
Oh, it's nice that he, like, went out of his way to give me precautions and say to be careful and stuff, and to say his main goal is to keep people out of the infirmary. Because Dr. Lakota, like, begged him to be doing that. Wow, you got dressed fast. Nice, spacesuit, man.
Anyway, where were we? Oh, yes. Powering New Homestead. As you might imagine, generating energy was a real challenge back in the day because the technology was much more crude then. But crude or not, it was that technology
what
that
he's
sustained
like occasionally
the
doing,
old
like,
Astro base.
stuff with his hands
And it
'cause
might
he's
surprise you
being
to learn
conversational.
that the same technology is still working today. The interesting thing about this old colony is that it's mostly powered by clean, renewable energy. You'll see one of the methods used on the horizon up ahead. That's right,
Yeah, wind
New
power.
Homestead's famous wind farms. This spot was chosen for the colony in part because of its constant winds. These turbines have been integral to the colony's function since its establishment as a cheap, mostly reliable source of electricity.
That was a weird way to pronounce integral.
So, let's talk about wind power, shall we?
I didn't think Titan was all that windy.
You're right. Most surface wind on Titan isn't too terribly strong, but here, the altitude and other conditions are perfect for sustained wind power. Like many worlds with atmosphere, the higher you go, the windier it gets.
Oh, I see. So it's a high elevation here. What's so interesting about wind power? Why is it part of the tour? That's a dumb question. Do these turbines really power the entire colony?
Mostly. I'm sure you've noticed the occasional brownouts. I guess these old machines have a habit of freezing up, what with all the ice out here. There's some
Yeah, I helped with
methane
that
on
earlier.
reserve for critical life support systems, but everything else here is otherwise powered by the units you see here.
Actually, I think I'd like to move on.
You're the boss. Let's go. Moving
I like
right
Bill.
along, we're going to learn about Titan's great natural resources. Titan is rich with hydrocarbons like methane and ethane. Surely you saw huge pools of this stuff on your descent into New Homestead. I like to think they add to the natural beauty of this world. Of course, stay away from them because, like anything beautiful, they can be dangerous. Just
Good
like
advice,
my
Bill.
last ex-wife's pet. She had this gorgeous, I don't know what you'd call it, creature. The guy that sold it to her couldn't tell her what it was or where it was from. I don't think it was even a legal sell, to be honest. The thing was very easy on the eyes. Feathers, all the colors of the rainbow. Nasty bite, though. Wound up in the hospital and almost lost my hand. Still not enough for her to get rid of the dang thing. Anyway, there's a reason she's my ex-wife. But enough about me. We were talking about methane and other resources, right?
Yeah, Bill. You got a little off track there, but I appreciated the anecdote.
Hey, can you believe it? Back in the 20th century on Earth, they used to fight wars over natural resources like this and petroleum. They had this
I can
whole
believe
moon
it,
here
Bill.
basically made of hydrocarbons in their own backyard. They just couldn't get to it. Incredible how far we've come. New Homestead is home to one of the oldest and largest methane processing plants in the settled systems. Every year, UC engineers go through a painstaking, month-long maintenance process. That's how this place has remained operational as long as it has. I'm not going to take you too close to the machinery, liability and all, but I can still answer questions.
All right, I really want to see what he has on him pickpocket-wise. Credits, some ammo, and a gun. Nothing worth stealing. This is especially a place where I want to deviate from the tour a little bit. Take a look around.
This place has a nice charm to it.
Look at these tourists out here.
This place is inspiring, don't you think? Beautiful scenery, huh? I'm amazed people could live out here.
This looks like an old man
even with the suits
in like a
on.
kid's body. It's really throwing me off. Like they accidentally used the wrong character model for that NPC. Oh, this thing's huge. I guess I didn't realize how big this was. Wait, I'm getting a little distracted here. There was a building over here I wanted to find my way into. Okay, here we go. Says take. I'm not stealing if it says take.
Looks like we got another leak in Sector 3. Again? That's the second time this month. I know. I'll send someone to go patch it up again. We do what we gotta do until we can get these...
Those folks in Sidonia may be closer to Earth.
Damn it.
But we do a better job.
I'm trying to find the conversation I hear happening in the background. Something about a leak in Sector 3. Ooh, that's stealing. Let's be careful when we click on here. Where are those people that were talking about the leak? I want to help. That's so frustrating. New homestead open. That's interesting. Wasn't expecting that. I wonder, is this like a way to the outside, or no, that's a loading screen door. Well, oh well, it didn't give me an activity or anything, so at least not that I saw, so probably not that important. Yeah, I want to see where this like, it's weird. This seems really far away from New Homestead, so I'm really curious, like, where this will take me. I'm actually going to save before I go in. I think I saw this before. When I was running ahead trying to find... So we got secure access to the mine, and I can actually go there. We may go check out the mine at some point. But I think if I go back this way... Yeah, the museum. Right. I took a peek down this hallway, and I was like, oh, that's for future me. It's weird to think that this is right here.
Completely bought it.
It seems, I don't know. It seems like logistically this wouldn't be here. But maybe I, covered more ground underground than I realized when I was at home New Homestead. Because, like, you step out here and New Homestead's way over there. Like, that's a long... It feels like it's a long ways away from the building. You know? What I'm saying make any sense? I don't know. Bill, I'm ready to continue the tour. This is really neat. Actually, maybe I'm not quite ready. Okay, yeah, I think I've seen mostly what there is to see here.
Questions? Fire away!
Oh yeah, questions. Yeah, sure. How can they shut the plant down for maintenance if people rely on it to live?
Yeah, it's not as if they shut down for a month. It's not shut down at all, actually. See, this place is built with redundant systems, so they can shut it down piece by piece and suffer only a reduction in throughput.
That's smart.
During
That's
that
smart.
time, the UC gets more of its resources from other places, allowing New Homestead to maintain what it needs.
That's cool. That's cool. So what do they do with all this methane?
Exports mostly. Since this world is so methane rich and has the infrastructure for it, a lot of the UC's methane comes from Titan. course, new homesteaders use it themselves for everything from generating heat to turning it into breathable oxygen via modern science.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that last one. Methane has carbon, right? But no oxygen. It's just, I mean, it's literally a hydrocarbon, right? So, hydrogen and carbon. Yeah, well, wait, how do they turn methane into oxygen? That doesn't make any sense.
No one's ever asked me that before. Something to do with methane.
Oh, okay, okay.
Microbes,
Actually,
I
yeah.
believe?
That actually does
I honestly
track.
don't
That makes
know.
sense. That makes sense.
Sorry.
They could use methane-eating microbes that convert carbon into oxygen. That's a viable explanation. Thank you, Bill. I was ready to throw a red flag on that and be like, shenanigans, there's no way that's a thing. But, yeah, no more questions right
Okie dokie,
now.
artichokey. There will be time for more later anyway. So, this next stop is a bit of an interesting one. I only recently made it part of the tour. Fun fact, it's also the only natural landmark on the tour. What we're about to see is a glacial spire we affectionately call Ymir's Horn. This colus used to be named after a character in a popular fantasy novel, but it was changed a couple hundred years ago to avoid any potential litigation. Now, what's a colus, you might say? Colus derives from the Latin word for hill, and scientists only gave names to groups of hills on a planet's surface. So in reality, the term you hear more often is the plural, coles, with an E. You probably don't hear it very often where you're from, because it was usually a term reserved for unexplored planets, back when they didn't have the technology to describe what they were seeing firsthand. Because of that, the term is much more common in the Sol system, but you may still hear it occasionally in reference to uncharted worlds. This planet's full of them, though, and they like to preserve that history here.
I'm really glad he stopped walking because I want to talk about this. I feel like that dialogue we just got was tongue-in-cheek from the dev team. I think that this thing that he's showing me that's called Ymir's Horn, which is obviously just a reference to Norse mythology. I think Ymir means like giant, right? Or is Ymir a figure? I think it's just like the giants with the Ymir, right? But it's neither here nor there. My point is that he's like he said he used to be named after a character in a popular fantasy novel, but then it was changed to avoid any potential litigation. I think, this is just pure speculation, I think that when they originally coded this part of the game, they named this like Gandalf's staff or some shit, and then the legal was like, no. Like, no, you need to change that. And then they added this like tongue-in-cheek line about them needing to rename it because of copyright. That's really funny if that's the case. Like, it may just be a throwaway line and it doesn't mean anything that deep, but that's all I could think about when he was saying that. Right, so he's just showing me this thing. I don't know why, but I'm suddenly obsessed with the idea of getting to the top of this, so bear with me while I do a little parkour. It'd be so funny if I got to the top of this and I get like a Ymir's Horn snow globe or some shit. Uh-oh. I'm trying not to become another injury for the doc to complain about from the tours. Alright, Alright, I don't think I can get much higher. Hold on one sec. Just land, get my jetpack fuel back. Alright, Bill, I'm done with my parkour. Oh, I've apparently got enough equipment on me right now to, like, work on my weightlifting thing. Which reminds me, I feel like I need to address this. So at some point, I swear that I did this on video. I talked about going in here and putting a point into weightlifting and putting a point into wellness. I must have died or had to do a reload or something shortly after I went through that. Because when I came into the game just now and I was looking through my skills again, I saw that those points had been returned to me. I had 3 skill points again. So I did put one into weightlifting, and then I like accidentally put one into wellness before because I thought I didn't even have rank 1 yet, but I did already have rank 1. So this time I decided to hold on to that extra skill point. So I put one into weightlifting. Wellness is still at rank 1. So it's a little bit different than the loadout I showed at some point. I swear it's on a video, so I'm just going to assume it was. So my loadout is a little bit different because of a reload. Because I'm such a save scummy guy. I ended up with a little time travel happening. Oh yeah, it just popped up. I'm at 500 out of 1,000 now. I'm not gonna grind it all the way up. There's no point. It'll happen organically, but it's just neat. All right, Bill.
Here it is, Ymir's horn. You're free to take a closer look. If
I
you
hope
like.
he has some dialogue about what it was called before. I really want it. Ymir, who's that? I know it.
According
Actually, I
to
guess I don't
ancient
know.
Norse mythology, Ymir was the first Jotun.
Oh, the first
frost
giant. Okay, okay.
In the
So I
legend,
wasn't
they were
completely
both
wrong. It
male
is a figure,
and female,
but it is
and
also
gave
a giant.
birth to the progenitors of all giants from their armpits. Ymir even predated the Norse gods, who, as it turns out, killed Ymir to fashion the earth and all of humanity from the corpse.
Oh, right.
It's a fascinating story, and the horn here is a fitting tribute to it.
How did this
I've
coalesce
heard
form?
this particular formation was caused by an ancient volcano. Something about steam and wind, then worn down over time. But I'm not 100% sure.
Alright, he doesn't have much to say about this. I think I'm done here.
On to the next stop, then. So, we're gonna head back inside through the methane processing plant. Try not to touch anything on your way. We
Oh,
want
I
to make
see.
sure to
He's gonna
respect
take
Dr.
me through
Lakota's
that.
wishes to be safer around here. That brings me to another point. You'll notice the people around here have last names related to where their families originated from on Earth, as a way to remember the past. The museum curator, Maurice Leon, has more information about that if you're interested. You can find him inside the main concourse. Loves talking about it.
So he does refer to him
find
as the museum
Most of the
curator.
locals here are very friendly to tourists like yourself. Tourism is
But
a
he refers
major
to himself
draw of
as
this colony
the
these
elder.
days, and I respect that.
As the oldest person
Most
here.
of them are happy to talk at length about what they do here. Their rugged
Yeah, I found
lifestyle
that,
is a
and
point
people here are
of
very
pride
friendly.
for
I
a lot
agree,
of these
Bill.
folks.
Nice of you to again mention your concerns about keeping people safe for Dr. Dakota's sake.
I know. I'll send someone to go patch it up again. We do what we gotta do until we can get the approval to replace the hole.
I feel bad leaving Bill behind, but like, started to hear that conversation again. I don't know where that's happening. About a leak. Like, that smells like a side quest, but I can't find it, so.
Hi there. Always nice seeing a new face.
Oh, thank you. Bill, I love your outfit, by the way. Very stylish.
This area we're walking through is the nerve center of the plant, where technicians keep an eye on the operation. Since methane production is such an important part of the colony's livelihood, it's important that the techs notice any issues and react to them quickly. Anyway, we're headed into the ice mines. It's a natural spring where water bubbles up from deep below, but due to the cold, it keeps freezing as it reaches the surface.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I guess, you know, in a world where there was no microbial life found here, the water in such a scenario would be perfectly clean and drinkable. So I can see why they would quote unquote mine it for the colony's drinking water and what have you. Warning, employees only beyond this point. PPE required beyond this point. Like, Bill just walking in here with his casual wear and a tourist. I don't know, Bill. I feel like we shouldn't be here. Alright, well, he's reached the talk to him point, so let's take a look around.
Mine and I isn't that hard. It's the methane you gotta watch out for.
Right, I imagine if you hit a vein of methane with a laser cutter around here, you'd be in trouble. Claudio Amsterdam. I can't help but notice you're named NPC. Let's talk.
Another tourist come to learn about the ice mines, huh? It's dangerous in the ice mines. I'd much rather answer your questions than have you going off to explore on your own.
That's fair. Why don't you have robots or other machines to do
For
this
one,
work?
New Homestead is not a wealthy colony.
Yeah, that's fair, I
But
guess.
we also pride ourselves on doing things the old ways. It's part of the living history, they say. We don't mind. We work hard here, and it's very rewarding.
Oh, good. So, ice mines. Why do you need to mine ice? This is like the world's dumbest question, but I'd like to hear him say it.
For drinking water. And we use some of it to produce this air you're breathing. We recycle
true.
a
Yeah,
lot
that
of
would
what
be
we
true
use,
also.
but we still need a nice, steady supply of fresh water. Lucky for us, Titan provides.
What's so dangerous about the ice mines? He's
I'm
going to tell me about
surprised
the
I
methane.
still get this question. It's slippery, it's sharp, it can break, it can cave in. Those are just the obvious examples.
Oh,
Titan
right,
is also
true.
full of methane, which can sometimes be trapped under the ice. As you know, methane can explode under the right conditions.
Yeah, like
And
by
also
cutting with a laser.
asphyxiate you if you breathe in too much of it.
No, mining ice doesn't seem as dangerous as you may. No, that's mean. As a fellow miner, I can respect the dangers you face.
So you can relate. It's good to talk with someone who understands the challenges of the job. Not everyone does. If I might ask, what do you mine?
Yeah, alien artifacts from a long-lost civilization. Wait, no. None ya, as in none of your business. I don't really want to talk about my mining experience anymore. Actually, one time I mined a mysterious artifact that gave me visions. Minerals mostly, to be sold for industrial purposes. A little this, a little that.
Oh.
We're 1,000% saying that.
Not what I expected at all when you said you did mining.
Yeah, that's more like archaeology.
Visions, you say? Huh? Oh. That sounds more like what those people get up to in Neon, from what I understand. Anyway, I'm sure we could swap mining stories all day, but I really should be getting back to what I was doing soon.
Yeah, that's fair, Claudio. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Be careful
It's nice
out
to meet
there.
you. Yeah, you too, man. You too. All right, and the rest of what we got down here are citizens, so. Oh, speaking of which, this looks like a methane pool. Oh, yo, be careful with that. I guess this is just water, otherwise I'd be lit up like a firework at this point. Small little mining area. Not too much going on here. We'll talk to Bill and then we'll resume
What
the
else
tour.
can I tell you about the ice mines?
I feel like I just got all the... I'm thirsty. Can I drink straight from the
I
source?
wouldn't recommend it. First, it's an active work site. Second, it still needs to be filtered and checked for contaminants.
I guess there
But
are
don't
still
worry, we'll stop somewhere for
potentially
refreshments
chemical
before the
contaminants.
tour is over.
All right, cool. Why not heat this area like the? Well, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sure the voice actors did a great job with this dialogue, but like, at a certain point, like, a question can be so stupid that I just have to refuse to click the dialogue option. Like, why not heat this area like the rest of it? Like, it's an ice mine, dude. Like, why? Why is that even a question I can ask? I guess I could be role-playing as, like, the world's dumbest astronaut, but no. Is this where all of New Homestead's water comes from? That's obviously yes, but this is a less dumb question, so I'll ask you.
Some water is created as a byproduct of methane processing, but that's usually
Oh,
saved
right,
in
he
the
did mention
emergency
that.
reserves.
I don't need to know any more about the ice mines. I'm ready
Sounds
to go.
good. Let's keep going then. We have just one more stop before we're done with the tour, and it just happens to be my favorite.
Oh, he's going to
This
take me to
colony is
the
home to the longest running establishment
Brown Horse
still in
Tavern.
existence, the Brown Horse Tavern. The Brown Horse started as a simple mess hall for the scientists and workers when the underground was built, but it's been operated by the same family ever since. Now, what's a horse, you might say? They were a large four-legged animal on Earth, often used for transportation or
That's
manual
funny.
labor.
That's a good point.
Before
Tourists
space
these
travel
days
was
wouldn't
even
know.
a dream for the folks of
necessarily.
Earth, even before antique machines like automobiles were possible, horses could be found everywhere. You might have seen them in old movies or read about them somewhere. If not, I highly recommend looking into them sometime. They're beautiful animals. The tavern's
like it.
original owner was infatuated with them, from what I understand, and named the place
Yeah, I didn't
in
even think
their
about
honor.
that with the name of the
The
tavern. Like,
moniker, Brown Horse Tavern, is also
Brown
a
Horse, like-
throwback to names of similar Earth restaurants hundreds of years before it was established.
I wonder if that's a throwback to like Elder Scrolls. Like, I can't, it's been over 10 years since I played an Elder Scrolls game, so I don't remember. The last Elder Scrolls game I played was Skyrim, and I played it when it was originally released in its original state. I don't think I even played any of the expansions to Skyrim. But yeah, that was a long time ago. I know they've re-released it like a million times, so it still seems like Skyrim's new and relevant, but like, for me, it's been a long time since I've played it. So I don't know if there's like a Brown Horse Tavern in Elder Scrolls universe, but I wouldn't put it past them to put this kind of reference in the game. But yeah, it's really neat how, like, I didn't even think about how this being called the Brown Horse Tavern, like, not everyone's gonna know what a horse is, let alone a brown one. I've already been here and looked around, so we'll talk
That
to Bill.
delicious smell is making me hungry. Can I answer anything about the Brown Horse?
Yeah, you sure
I'll
can.
be here if you need anything. That
Shit.
delicious
That
smell
was
is
a
making me...
misclick. Alright, good. What can you tell me about the owner?
Anya Seattle is the current owner of the Brown Horse. It's been in the Seattle family for generations. But Anya will be able to tell you more herself. Feel free to ask her. It doesn't feel right coming from me when she's standing right over there.
Yeah, I did already speak to her. Thank you, Bill, though. It's good of you to, like, be like, she knows more than I do. Like, please feel free to talk to her about it. Same with, like, the thing about the names. Like, he mentioned it, that it was a thing, but he's like, if you really want to learn more, you should go talk to the museum curator, because he's knows more about that history. Like, he's a really good tour guide. Like, I really like him as a character. Bill, you're the best. Any menu recommendations?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I honestly love everything Anya serves here. I'd be doing her a disservice to recommend one dish over another. You want the real answer? Order one of everything.
How could this possibly be the oldest restaurant in settled systems? I mean, it makes sense to me, but let's ask
Easy.
him about it.
All the other ones fell to ruin when we abandoned Earth. There were technically older ones on Mars, but those have long since shuttered or been replaced.
So this is awkward. I don't know if my audio is still coming through. But I did notice when I'm streaming these for, basically I just stream these. I don't ever expect to get an audience or anything on Twitch. But I stream these so that I can, then grab the VODs off Twitch and put them on YouTube. Right now I'm noticing that, and it must have just happened because it's, me talking to Bill in this place. I've noticed that the stream has frozen, so that's why I don't know if my audio is still being recorded from the mic or anything. But the visual, at least, of the stream is frozen. Bill's got his mouth gaping open and what have you. So I am going to go ahead and do some troubleshooting real quick. I'm going to try pausing the stream. But I may have to end the stream here and end the video early and just start a new stream to make sure we're capturing everything. So I'll give the same explanation. Yeah, we are going to have to do that. I'm not sure how this is going to look on video, but we will, and how it's going to work with the audio. But if you're watching the video and you're still able to hear me, please join me in the next video. And if my audio has cut off in addition to the video, this is going to be a really awkward transition to the next video, but it is what it is. Shit happens sometimes, so I'll see y'all in the next one. Oh. Never mind. I think I'm okay. I think I'm actually okay. I think I fixed it. Goodness, yeah, I'm sorry about all that. Yeah, I think I'm okay. So I do think all of this did get recorded successfully, and I'm just being a silly Billy. So, sorry for this interruption to our regularly scheduled programming, I guess. Let's move on with this. So I asked them all the stuff.
Okay,
good
then.
To go here.
All right, we're headed to the last stop, right back where we began. Feel free to check out the museum exhibit in the main concourse here. These displays are full of rare Earth trinkets salvaged from before humanity left, and Maurice is happy to talk about the collection. The museum's curator, Maurice, will be happy to talk to you if you want to know more.
Alright, so I have to speak with him to finish up here. I just realized I don't think I ever clicked on these two museum plaques. I think I missed this one display, so I'm going to take advantage of this moment to do that right now. Scale model of the RV Calypso, originally commissioned by the British Royal Navy as a minesweeper vessel and launched in 1942. It was later repurposed by famed Earth oceanographic researcher, Jacques Cousteau, yeah, in 1950. Cousteau dedicated his life to exploring Earth's oceans further and deeper than anyone before him. During his expeditions, he formed a deeper understanding of the sea's fragile ecosystems and became an advocate for ocean preservation. Jacques Cousteau. Scale model of the HMS Beagle, originally constructed for the British Navy as a war vessel and first launched in 1820, this Cherokee-class brig sloop was most famous for transporting renowned scientist Charles Darwin during his famous worldwide research voyage in 1831 to 1836. How cool. Okay.
Well, that's that. I hope you enjoyed Starsap tours as much as I enjoy giving them.
Oh, I'm so glad it's given me the option to tip him. Because, as you may remember at the beginning of the tour, I was like, I don't know if I want to pay that much. I'd use Persuade to see if I could get a lower price than the 100 credits he was asking for. And he ended up being like, I'll just give you the tour for free, which is crazy. And he was just like, just tell other people about the tour. It was a really good tour. He did a great job. And it wasn't like a quick one. And like, he took me around. Like, it felt like a tour that would maybe take like an hour or a couple of hours if I was taking it. Maybe just an hour, but like an hour long tour. An hour of his time. And it was a personal tour for just me because it wasn't like a tour group he was leading around. It was literally just me. So I felt so bad for using Persuade to get out of the 100 credits. I loved it. Here's a little something extra for you. Yeah.
I really appreciate it. You know, I rely on tips from good people like you, so thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, keep up the good work, Bill.
Enjoy
that was
the rest
really
of
cool.
your stay in New Homestead.
You
Take
too,
care.
man. Thank you for the tour. Thank you again. Take care, Bill. I'm really glad to be able to give him like a big tip at the end. He definitely earned it 10 times over. All right, cool. So I feel like I've completely explored New Homestead at this point. I feel like the tour was very thorough. It took me to all the places I hadn't yet been. I picked up a couple quests here. I've got to go get him some special sauce from, but that's from off of Titan. The other quest I got was this, special sauce. Tourists go home to wear the monster costume and scare tourists. I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to do that canonically, I should say. But I think I'm going to do that for the giggles, just to see what the quest is like. So I'm going to save my game here prior to doing this quest. And then we're going to do it. Dr. Lakota wants me to put on this monster costume she gave me and try to scare off a group of tourists in the hopes word will spread and tourism will take a dive. She really dislikes tourists. So we're going to do this and see what the results are. If it actually succeeds in scaring away tourism, I'm going to just load my save and keep the costume because, let's be real, the real reason that I wanted to do this was just to get my hands on the costume because it's amazing. So the costume itself is a spacesuit. And she told me to do this outside, which seemed weird because I hadn't seen any tourists outside. But now I have. I know where I could go find a group of tourists to scare with it. So now that I've been out, there's some near the methane plant. So let me, I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. The low gravity here throws me off when I'm inside like a building like this. I never expect to
New Homestead is a living history exhibit. These are real people. Please be kind to them.
Want to keep the heat leeches out of New Homestead, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and go out the airlock here, and then once I'm outside, I'm going to put on the monster costume and see if we can see if I can fulfill the requirements for this quest. See what the result is like. Because I'm curious, I think this has the potential for hilarity. So even if I'm not going to make this a canonical part of my character's story, I mean, who can resist? And I think we definitely need to do this quest in third person. I think it's even more scary that this thing has a shotgun. Boogie, boogie, boogie!
It's going to eat us! Run!
Oh, I'm gonna eat you! I have a jetpack too, haha.
No! Leave me alone! It's chasing me! Run away! What is that thing? Get away from me! Ah! Get away! What is that thing? Run away! Ah! No! Leave me! Get away! Get away! It's gonna eat me! Get away from me! It's chasing me! Get away from me!
Lots of history here, if you're into that sort of thing.
The citizens don't give two shits with the tourists are terrified. I actually scared this person inside. Oh, they're still scared of me. Even though I have this thing off now.
What is that thing?
Maybe it is a kid.
It's chasing me!
Alright, they're sort of bugged out at this point. Let me look at the quest. The plan worked, and the tourists are running scared. I should tell Giliana what happened. Let's just, like, I don't think I'm going to save this canonically, but let's just, finish out the quest and see, you know, what dialogue remains with this quest.
I know. I'll send someone to go patch it up again. We do what we gotta do until we can get the approval to replace the whole unit.
Careful, there are some dangerous areas around here that are not part of any tours.
So then I told him that we churn our own butter.
Welcome to New Homestead.
The people here live a simple life. Try not to complicate it.
I can't wait. What are you supposed to be? You look so stupid and silly.
Oh, see, they can all still see my costume. It's cool that he has a unique line for if you talk to him with the costume on.
Look, I know what I'm asking you to do is pretty silly, but I still think it's worth a shot. Did you scare off those tourists yet?
Where'd you get a
I bought
costume
it
like
from
that
a private
anyway?
seller. They said they got it from someone who wore it in a secondary school as their sports team mascot. I
Oh,
guess
that's
it was
funny.
supposed to be a tardigrade or something. Anyway, the person I bought it from modified it a bit so they could use it in an independent movie they were making. But I guess that went nowhere, so they had to sell it. Lucky me, I suppose.
Scared off some tourists for you.
I'll bet they won't be coming back anytime soon. I'm just happy I was able to find someone willing to help with this ridiculous idea. Tell you what, if you want to come back later and do this for me a couple more times, I'll even let you keep the costume.
Monster costume removed, and she wants me to do it more? Wait. Alright, so two things I just noticed. First of all, that Spacer Scavenger of Blatadea, I didn't notice before that the quest literally says legendary ship, Spacer Scavenger Blatadea. So I think it's meant to be like a really cool ship that you can like take over. So I may have to use like targeting and stuff to like take out their engines and board the ship and take control of it. So that definitely kicks that can down the road a bit. I won't be trying to do that anytime soon because I was having enough trouble trying to destroy it, and you know, it's even more complicated to like disarm it and board it. But furthermore, like this, it's gone off my quest log. Tell May you want to run the Red Mile. I feel like I already did that, but we're definitely going to go back and run the Red Mile enough times to get the record. I collect sedative for Dr. Darvish. That's sort of something that'll just happen organically, I think. I really do want to find the new location for the ECS Constant. I really hope that like this activity gives me hope because I got it after the completion of that whole quest line. But I really hope like it does continue their story, because I'd really like to get some closure for that, see them successfully settled on a world that's all their own and setting up a colony, because they have a really unique, like, they're not aware of the last 200 years of technological advancement. They're really got, living on old Earth tech, and they had ideas about generations later settling and forming their own colony, and I just want them to succeed because it's one of the coolest quest lines I've found in the game so far. But yeah, it's not even here. Like, go help her out a few more times, and so I guess it's like I don't know. Let's talk to her and see if she just gives it.
But please try to be more careful around here. Try to be careful out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Presumably, you can come back here at later points in the game and eventually, and keep scaring away tourists and eventually get the costume for yourself. But we're just going to keep the costume and not do that quest for her because I don't agree with her motivation. So here we go, loading the game. It's no longer canon, and I'm keeping that costume 100% because it is awesome. So let's take another look at the Earth system. The reason I even found this place in the first place is because I was going around the whole system looking and seeing if there was anything interesting, and I'm like, oh look, a whole freaking city on Titan that I missed. I think Jupiter's next. Looks like there's something significant on Europa. I already did Venus, so let's start by checking Callisto. Just the Civi outpost. Yeah, Europa. What's on Europa? Europa might be the moon I was actually thinking about when I was talking about subsurface oceans. I just forget which one it is. I might even be thinking of Io. I don't see anything on Europa, so what is this? What's that? Like, maybe this is a bug, like there was at some point a city on Europa that you could go to, but like they removed it from the game. And so when you actually look, let's just set a course here and see if we can see anything, and then we might be done with the Sol system. There's a ship here. Galbank Stormrider. Guess we don't really care about them. Do a quick scan. Oh, it's a planet I can land on. But again, there's nothing there. Yeah, there's even not the ... So I'm really curious what that is meant to symbolize, but I don't know. Might just be like an overlooked thing. Something that was cut during development. The Galbank ship doesn't seem to be reaching out to us for anything. I think that's it. That's it for the Sol system. So, yeah, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about that round of exploration. I think we'll bang out some of these quests now that we picked up while exploring around. Like Special Sauce. Oh, right, I have to go to Paradiso for that one. Let me see here. Right, Sandra at that star station wanted me to go to New Atlantis. That's pretty close to here, so I'll probably do that. And then I also need to go get some liquor from Neon for someone. And the Special Sauce is Paradiso. So we'll probably just do a quick run to all three of those places to pick up the special things, and then do another quick run to deliver them to the people who requested them, because I think that's all super fun. But we'll start with Taste of Home. And just have to go to Jake's Bar in the Well in New Atlantis. It's been a while since I've been back to New Atlantis, so it'd be good to go back there and hit up the shops and buy more lockpicks and, you know, do all the stuff. I don't think I have any contraband on me right now. Yeah, it's letting me just straight up land there, so let's go.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep
Oh. Did a little too much sprinting there. I'm just like, this is a great, you know, opportunity to work on that skill. Because I want to rush through this stuff, these objectives anyway. Since this is kind of a bit of a boring, you know, quest cleanup bit. Now that I've finished the exploration arc, I guess, of my Starfield playthrough.
Last thing I want is to charge you for a DP, an A&B, B&E, or heaven.
We may very well go back to the main story stuff after this. Kind of forget my way around the well. It's been a while. I think it's this way. The Jakes. I remember Jake's a bit of a dick. Deliver Jake's Stout.
I am legally required
Jake has
to
a
remind you.
drink here.
You buying?
Yeah.
What's it gonna be?
I get it. I'll take a drink.
All right.
Yeah, if you ask him any of those questions, he's like, I fucking hate people that ask me questions. Like, okay, guy. Jake's Stout. No, just one will suffice, thank you.
Well, bye.
Bye, Jake. All right, next on our tour, we are going to go to, I guess, pick up the special sauce. And is Paradiso further out than Neon? I can't remember. Just look at the Starfield and figure it out from there. So Paradiso, Neon's in the Voli system, right? And I think Paradiso's Parima. So Neon's going to be closer, and something we're able to do in a single jump sequence. So let's start there. We'll go get some Neon. Or go get some, what is the liquor they're looking for? But not the one that has Aurora mixed into it, and not Aurora itself. It was, Velocity. I think I'm remembering that right, actually. The Velocity that comes in a bunch of different colors. She said she doesn't care what color I get her. Which is kind of interesting. Like, going back to Neon actually gives me a good opportunity to check in on that guy who's hopefully still alive. I don't think I have like a quest objective to check in on him, so something I'm just gonna have to remember in my head, that he's around here somewhere and potentially in need of
keep moving. The scanner's
assistance at this point. $750 out of 1,000 now for that sprinting thing.
Are you working toward that next technological leap? Then let Ryujin Industries.
Shoot, I don't remember where. Maybe the quest will tell me. Fueling Greatness is this one, right? Get a velocity. Velocity from Madame Savage. Oh, right, Madame Savage's.
Fill out an application today to become part of the most advanced technology corporation in the settled system.
Right. Epside. No, I think Madame Savage's is the last place I saw that NPC. This will also give me a chance to hopefully.
These days.
I mean, this gives me an opportunity to check in on the bugged quest that I have to see if it's stopped being bugged. So I'll take any opportunity to come back to this place and take a look. Looks like it's still bugged. That door up there looks quite closed, unfortunately.
I hope you aren't here to cause any trouble.
May I order something from the bar?
Something special for you, perhaps?
Yeah, you should really look into that haunted poltergeist activity on your counter there. That tray was having a time. I feel like she would appreciate violet, but she also strikes me as someone who likes yellow. Or maybe red is her color. But let's go with violet for her. That feels right. All right. Now let's check on my boy, see if he's still up here at the broken quest objective.
What's up?
Well, my boy's not here any longer. Hopefully he's not dead. Let's see if I can find the... No, that's the crazy fan.
This place is like my second home.
The guy who was going out to have a night on the town with is also no longer here. Interesting. So that has probably advanced. I would probably need to like... Well, actually, no. There is one more place I can check. I was going to say I'll probably need to look around all of Neon to find him. He's probably just a corpse in an alley in the upside at this point. But I'm fairly certain there was a, like, hotel here. I don't think the hotel I met him at was in Ebside, actually. The more I think about it, I think it's in Bayou Plaza. I'll just, I'm gonna take a quick look, see if I can find my way back to that hotel real quick. And, see if he is back there. Yeah, here we go. Rivoli Hotel.
So go out, have your fun, live your best life. We'll be here when you're ready. The Hotel Volai. Sleep with us.
Alright, we may look upstairs.
We have choice accommodations at reasonable prices.
Welcome to the Hotel Volai.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Enjoy your visit to Neon.
Alright, so I can't ask her about him. Let's go see if, like... Oh, God. Guess we'll start on the second floor. I'm just going to take a quick look. I don't imagine that I have... Alright, so second floor is where I can rent a room if I want. Let's check on the third floor. It's interesting that there's multiple floors. That does make me think that maybe I can find him up here. Oh, it's not even an interactable door, so boring. Well, I don't even need to take the elevator back down, because I guess we're done here. Next quest I'm wanting to bang out is this one. You cannot fast travel from this location. God damn. Okay, hold on. Let's get out of this hotel. I'm thinking I'll be able to fast travel from the lobby once I get there. It's just because, like, that weird, like, one-room section of the hotel is behind a loading screen. I think is the problem. Right, let's get that active. Yeah. To Paradiso.
Paradiso Security's only here for your safety.
I wonder if I can follow up with the CEO to see if he knows where the ECS constant
I'm just glad I don't work on
has gone to. This is weird. It seems to be directing me to... Like, oh, it's a Chunks. Duh. I don't know what I was thinking. Obviously, we're going to another Chunks location.
Hello. Welcome to Chunks. If this is your first time dining with us at this location, you'll find our cuisine and service is a step above what you're used to. Please, don't hesitate to ask if there's anything I can do to make your Chunks experience as enjoyable as possible.
No wonder they get all the special sauce from corporate. Is working at a gourmet Chunks any different from a regular
I used
Chunks?
to work at a Chunks in Neon before my transfer was approved, and while I much prefer working here, I can say that it's not a lot different.
Okay,
It's
that's
a lot
fair, that's
nicer.
fair.
The food is supposedly higher quality, and we treat the customers with greater care. But that's really about it.
Yeah, it's fair. It's ultimately, you're peddling the same Chunks. So this is an upscale Chunks?
Yeah, I know. It seems ridiculous, especially since most of
Yeah,
the food
it really
is the same
kinda
old
does.
Chunks as anywhere else. But people here really seem to like it. Honestly, what else do you want me to say? This is my employer and they treat me well enough. So please, enjoy some gourmet Chunks.
Yeah, I'm here to pick up some special sauce for the Chunks in your homestead.
I thought it was a joke at first, but yet here you are. Let me get that for you. But maybe
It is
next
kinda
time you
funny
can
to
ask
be
him to make it
transporting
last
special
longer
sauce
so I don't
across
have
the
to keep
galaxy.
doing this so often.
All right. Mission accomplished. Right, so I got the 3 items. I think next on the agenda is to make those 3 deliveries. But this seems like as good a spot as any to end this video. Thank you everybody for watching, and as always, have a fantastic day.